You can't see now, but we have a little injury, and both of us have an injury. And you were explaining that to me, and you're talking about, well, it's okay because I dance defensively, and so that was very fascinating. So can you explain?
Okay, dancing defensively. I think everyone should dance defensively. One thing with dancers and salsa dancers is they do know how to keep their space, so that's a good thing. They do know how to keep their space. However, there's always the exception to the rule, and there's crowded places. Usually when we go out dancing, we don't have an entire floor to ourselves, so we're forced to share the floor. Guys, when they lead, I think it's important for them to watch out for their partner as well as themselves. And for the women, it's not just his responsibility.
Right.
Women make that, followers make that assumption that, well, the guy's taking care of me, so I'm just going to do whatever I want because he should be watching out for where I'm going.
Right.
And although he should, you should also be watching out for yourself, because someone might just end up in your space, and instead of bumping into them and injuring yourself, you want to try and, you want to be able to control your weight enough that you can shift it and change direction. That, I think, comes from body awareness before it comes from just a natural defense. So
that's what you meant.
That's what I meant, yeah.
And also we were talking about, I went out last night, and aside from having a blast, I did a lot of watching. And there was a couple, and the girl was working it. She was doing her shine. She was fabulous. And he would come get her, and they would do a cross-body lead. And she would dance out of it. And she would keep dancing. So I thought it was interesting. I had a lot of thoughts. So I was wondering if you could explain to us, in your opinion, what's the role of the follower and the lead?
I think we kind of touched upon this a little while ago. For me, the dance has 4 elements. There's the leader, the follower, the music, and your space, your environment. So when you're referring to space, if you have a small space, if it's a crowded club, you can't be doing traveling moves. You can't be flying across the dance floor, because you have to be considerate of the people around you.
Yes.
The leader and the follower should always be dancing to the music. So if the music is something that's soft and romantic, there's no reason to go crazy with your shines.
Right.
And if the music is just continuous, where there is no break, then you shouldn't be breaking your flow to go and do shines or anything like that. And the connection between the leader and the follower, I think the person who is more advanced needs to cater to the person who is less advanced. So as a leader, if you can do 1,000,000 moves, but you're dancing with a beginner who can only do a single right turn, then you only lead her through a single right turn. You can push her to do a double, but if she's not comfortable, then you need to take it down a notch.
Right.
Because it's all about building a level of comfort. Because this dance is not competitive. We're all here to enjoy ourselves. So if you're going to make it hell for somebody, then don't bother. You want to make sure that at the end of the dance you can say, thank you, that was a great dance, even if all you did was basic steps.
So it's about the connection too, and not about it all being about you and your style and your performance.
No, absolutely not. And same thing goes for the follower. If the guy only knows basics, as much as you might want to dance, you have to cater to him. So for me, when I dance with beginner leaders, there's so much I can do in a crossbody lead, that I don't need to break away from him and go do my own thing. And if we break away and do shines, if he wants to do that, and all he's doing is Suzy Q's, that's all I do. I don't go crazy.
Okay.
Because I'm not there to outshine anybody. There are guys that I dance with who are playful, and they're like, let me see what you got. I'm like, okay, I'll show you what I got. But with anyone else, I always keep a watch on them to see what they're doing. And as soon as they're ready to come back to me, I'm ready to go back to them.
Right.
And that's important. It's always...
There's respect. There's a level of respect.
And the dance is a leader-follower dance. So although you have your individuality, there is a lead. There is decision being made to the dance by one person, and that person has to follow. So if he's ready to pick you up for turn patterns, time to go. That's one thing I find, that with a lot of followers, they tend to do their own thing, and the guy's there ready to do his basic, and they're like, I'm not done yet.
Right.
And with some people it's fine, you can play around.
Right.
But with most people, you want to pick up.
Right.
You always want to be ready for your leader.
It's like, know your audience.
Exactly. Right. And your audience is your partner.
Right.
Even if your friends are watching, it's one thing if your friends are watching and you want to play around. Like, I always joke around with, if I see one of my friends.
Right.
But my eye contact is always with my partner.
Right.
Because that connection is just between us, us and what we hear, and just a peripheral vision of our space, but not like, hey, oh, there's my friend, watch this move,
Right.
It's not about that.
Right. Well, I'm an audience and like that.
Right.
That connection that you're having with your partner.
Yeah.